Hey, what is going on, guys? It's the SS Ultimate Goku, back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing another buy or sell, and it's a buy or sell that, quite frankly, I've been wanting to do for a while now, and that is something that I think could be a really good fight for a versus series, but this is going to be based on, I guess, really plot. My buy or sell is Brock Lesnar, UFC Brock Lesnar, from 2008 to 2010, UFC heavyweight champion, versus Hercule Satan martial arts tournament. Who would win if they ended up fighting either in an MMA UFC style type fight or a martial arts style fight in the case of Dragon Ball Z tournament rules. I am going to buy on Brock Lesnar, and I'm going to sell on Hercule Satan. Brock is a beast. He is a beast, and in both scenarios, I can't see Hercule beating Brock. Brock always is in like a mode. He's in a mode, you know what I'm saying? He's in this mode always when he's doing these fights. A lot of people just see him as the WWE wrestler, but they don't see him as a legitimate fighter, which he is. And I just, to anyone that doesn't know like what Brock Lesnar is capable of, watch the match when he took on Frank Mir in the second one. The second one when Brock, this was Brock's first title defense when he was UFC heavyweight champion. I'm gonna tell you this right because I watched the fight. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this, guys, right now. If that match was not stopped, because that match was stopped by the ref because it was that bad. If that match was not stopped, I think Brock would have murdered Frank Mir right in the middle of that octagon, because Brock was literally beating the shit out of that guy. And Frank Mir is like, you know, he's a very good fighter. He has a big mouth like Hercule does. I wouldn't say it's as thick skulled as Hercule's is, but Frank Mir had a big mouth. He talked shit about Brock. He, basically called him a fake wrestler, before the fight. You can all see this on YouTube. You can just look it up. Frank Mir's, promo on Brock Lesnar. You can see him, he says, "This is not the WWE," and like falls down or whatever. He did a lot of stupid shit for that rematch fight. And Brock, he fucking destroyed him. Like, he was punching him, like he literally had him pinned to the ground near the cage and just started ranking him with that punch multiple times, fist. If you guys thought the SummerSlam, match that he had with Randy Orton, where they had the blood job, because WWE, only does blood jobs for when Lesnar is wrestling someone. Now, keep in mind, the Orton-Lesnar thing, that was a planned blood job, okay? You want to talk about a real blood job? Watch that fight. That was a real blood job, okay, because it was a real fight, and Brock freaking bloodied him so badly that if they didn't stop that fight, I think he could have killed Mir. I really did. I really do think he could have killed Mir right in front of that octagon. That's what the refs are there for, to stop the match. But, I mean, he could not defend himself. Mir could not defend himself, and he was bloodied everywhere. Like, his whole face was all bloodied up. After the match, freaking, Brock, basically said to him, "What do you think?" Because like when Mir got up, he was like stuttering, like he was all over the place. Like he probably got multiple concussions from that fight alone. Like he was just dazed everywhere. Like he didn't even know where he was. and friggin' Brock was like right up to him. I don't know if Mir remembers that because he probably had a concussion that night. It was like, want to talk shit now? I remember he said something like that. You gonna talk shit now? Just look at that fight. I mean, they did fight each other the first time, but when they fought each other the first time, Mir got a lucky submission hold on him or whatever. That wasn't when he wasn't even the UFC champion yet. He got a lucky submission. Even in that match, though, if Mir didn't put that submission hold on him, I think Brock could have beaten him. Brock was punching the crap out of him in the beginning, and he got caught in that submission, so he was inexperienced with submission holds and stuff like that, and Mir caught him. And then when they fought each other in the next fight, freaking Brock, when he was more experienced, he showed who was boss. And whether you love or hate him, that's what Brock does. He's an animal in there. He's a beast in that octagon. And if we put Hercule in that octagon, like in a realistic, type fight, and have him come to the real world and, fight in the UFC, I don't see how Hercule could beat Brock, because Hercule, is sort of like Frank Mir in a way, is that he likes to talk trash and he likes to get in his opponent's skin, and that shit doesn't work for Brock. Brock is one of those guys, if you talk shit, he's not gonna second guess. He's not gonna think of other things, Hercule does this to try and make people second guess themselves or whatever. Brock's not gonna do that. He's just gonna go out there and beat the shit out of you. He's gonna piss him off even more. And I don't see how Hercule could beat Brock in a UFC fight, in a UFC sanctioned fight. I see Brock beating the shit out of Hercule, especially if he does all that trash talking he does. Oh, it's a trick. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. I think Hercule would get his just dues. He would get his ass kicked by Brock, and Brock would beat him easily. For going to a martial arts tournament here and have Brock go to Dragon Ball Z essentially, and fight in a martial arts regular tournament, no special things going on like with Goku or anything like that, because Hercule essentially is a regular human. He's not like someone that has special abilities, like he can't fly like his daughter can or stuff like that. So he has regular abilities that normal humans would have. Even the specially gifted hard training regular humans like Bruce Lee or something like that, or Chuck Norris, we're talking about the real ones, not the means guys. Not even they have they don't have like Goku special abilities and stuff like that. Though Bruce Lee, I will admit, he had a really, really special gift. But even he, even the greatest fighters of all time that we've seen in real life, they don't have like superhuman abilities to the extent of like Z or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, Hercule, even if we want to say that, he's like kind of close to like, because a lot of people say, well, Hercule, yeah, he's weak compared to all the Z fighters. But in terms of like, regular fighters, that don't have those special powers, for a regular human, he's pretty gifted. But if we're going to compare Hercule to like Lee or Chuck Norris or something like that, I don't know if you can, because Hercule, again, really hasn't, compared to him going up against regular humans, we've only seen him go up against a couple of different people who were really pushovers, type guys. He never went up against guys like these. So, if, martial arts tournament scenario, where it's, you knock your opponent out in the tournament ring, or you get your opponent thrown out of the ring somehow. The only way I could see Hercule winning that martial arts tournament is if he somehow can get Hercule, or can get Brock to accidentally throw himself out of the ring. Otherwise, I say Brock would beat the shit out of him and knock him out. and he's not going to take no, I'm going to lose on purpose like Android 18 did so I can get the prize money and you can still keep your little reputation. No, Brock ain't in for that. Brock is for, Brock's a conqueror. I know that's a kayfabe, but he's a conqueror. He really is. He really is a conqueror. This guy, Brock, originally was this guy, very good high school wrestler. And a lot of people don't know that Brock almost did not get to participate in wrestling in college. He talks about the story that, the school, the only school that was interested in him, to do wrestling in college, said that he was an under or something like this. He said this in the Stone Cold podcast a couple of years ago, that he was under a couple of credits and he could not join the school unless he had these type of credits or whatever. So he actually had to call up pretty much every school in the country, or they did for him, to find a school that took summer classes so he could, get these credits. And he had to drive, I guess, all the way to a faraway state or somewhere. And he registered and made it about an hour or something before the class started on the first day. And he was there for, the couple of weeks. Because summer classes are only for a couple of weeks, but they're every day, though, almost. So he had to do that for the whole summer. For 3 weeks or whatever it is for summer classes. I don't know what it was back then for him, but he did that, and then he went on to do the NCAA college thing and won the NCAA championship. Went to WWE, had a couple success there, and then at the height of his WWE popularity, he left, tried to become a football player, almost made it. He got cut, but that was mainly due to the fact that he wouldn't do NFL Europe, which was around at the time, and which was developmental type thing. So, and then after that didn't pass on, he ended up going to the UFC and eventually won the UFC title and became the baddest man on the planet he was the baddest man on the planet. It wasn't for a long time. It was for about, 2 years, from 2008 to 2010. But when he was the UFC heavyweight champion, he was a dominating force. He had the teculitis disease or whatever it was, that ultimately cost him his UFC title, and eventually led him to going back to the WWE. But during that 2-year window, if we're talking about the Brock from the fully healthy Brock Lesnar that was the UFC heavyweight champion from 2008 to 2010, I'm going to go with Brock. I'm going to buy on Brock and I'm going to sell on Hercule. Hercule isn't a guy, that really hasn't done that much, in terms of actual realistic human feats. He's been more of a not really funny comedic character, in my personal opinion, that takes all the credit from all the Z fighters. We've seen a couple of, flashbacks of him winning matches against other, humans, muscle type humans, but that's all we've seen, really. We haven't seen him go up against top tier competitors. If we're comparing to real life humans, like a Brock or a Bruce Lee or a Chuck Norris. I'm talking about the real ones. I'm not talking about the means, by the way. I don't see how Hercule could beat any of those type of guys, with their gifts as regular humans. So in both scenarios, I would say Brock would beat him, and I think he would take that title and really expose take Hercule's martial arts title and unify it with his UFC title, and I think I really think what would happen is that the fans would then realize that Hercule's a fraud and Brock would be the conqueror. It'd be like Undertaker, losing the streak. Everyone would probably be like, and everyone in Dragon Ball Z would be like, because all the Dragon Ball Z like people don't know the fact that Hercule's a fraud. So like they would all be shocked. They'd be like, oh, they would have their mouth drop and stuff like that. Like when Brock would conquer him. Eat, sleep, conquer Hercule. Right? That should be the new promotion. Eat, sleep, conquer Hercule. Right? He does the eat, sleep, conquer the streak. Yeah, that would be the new thing. Eat, sleep, because that's how he always changes the shirt to whoever his next opponent is. Eat, sleep, conquer Cena. Eat, sleep, conquer the streak. Eat, sleep, conquer Hercule. Like, yeah, and it would be a shock. It'd be a shock to everyone when he would do it, and it would be awesome. In that fantasy type scenario. For the UFC fighter, Brock Lesnar. But that's what I think about this. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if there's a buy or sell that you would like me to do and what type of topic, let me know as well. Let me all know that, guys. Told you let me know. Also, let me know what you guys think about this. Who do you think? I've said what I needed to say about this and my arguments on it. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like this video or my other videos, please subscribe. And that's about it, guys. I'm the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace.